full disclosure before you go any further in this video, if you didn't watch the last episode, I'd even go as far as to say maybe the last couple or last 3 episodes, I'd go back and watch them. We're going to spoil a lot in today's season review because it's fair to say a lot happens that can be spoiled. So if you haven't already, go back and watch those. But if you already have watched them, on with the season review. How you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 18 of the Aston Villa save here on FM24. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we're going to round up the season that was and do some transfers so we can try and be even better next season. And if you're excited to see how we get on in today's transfer special, don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me and to subscribe so you don't miss any of the nonsense that comes out of this space right here. So I'm still horribly ill. But I do think I'm getting better. I feel better than I have done just now. I've now developed the sneezing and the coughing and all that kind of stuff, which for some reason doesn't appear when you feel at your worst. It comes afterwards. So it is what it is. So apologies if there are pauses in the video and things like that. And if I ramble and if I stumble over my words, I'm a bit tired. But we're going to do the video anyway because I'm going to soldier on. So, season review. I gave the warning at the start. I'm not going to give any more warnings because the spoiler's right there. Inexplicably, we did a treble. Not just any treble, we did the treble. We did Premier League, we did Champions League, we did FA Cup. Like an absolute boss. So, let's get in and let's have a look and see what the season had for us, including the new arrivals. Now, some of these arrivals kind of changed over the season. I would say, right there, signing of the season is absolutely correct. Archie Gray. I'm skipping over a couple here. Archie Gray was the signing of the season. I mean, he came in as an 18-year-old and he's played almost every... Well, not every game necessarily, but he's played almost every game for us. What a season he's had. He's been over a 7 rating in the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup winning side. He's been sensational, and how he's not had an England call-up yet is beyond me. Going back into the order, Elliot Wahi was one of the big signings that we had. We needed a striker. We knew we needed a striker. We knew Elliot Watkins wasn't going to be reliable enough in the game for the season, and Elliot Wahi came in. Took a while to get cooking, but boy did he get cooking. 49 starts, 11 sub-appearances, 36 goals and 11 assists. Bearing in mind, he did score goals to begin with, but he took a while to really get into proper consistency. But wow, what a season he had. Marco Carnesecchi, really good deal for him. Started off well and then made a couple of real clangers. So we ended up bidding him off, and I will be looking to replace him this season. Well, will I? I don't know. Maybe I will. I'm not 100% sure. Yes, I brought Jack Grealish back. Yes, he's 29 years old. Yes, he's really not the sort of player we should be looking at. But again, once he got settled back in, he was flying and he did a really good job for us. Huge part of how we ended up in maintaining our success, so I'm very happy with that. Wilfried Singo, we needed a right back, and he was one we could afford. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to look to sell him or Matty Cash and bring in a proper big boy right back who can be a proper Champions League player, because neither of them are really that good. Although he did okay in the few appearances he had before he had a bad injury. Jacobio came in to be a cover defender, got it in his head he should have been more than that. We put him firmly in his place, he accepted his position, has been a really solid cover player for us, did really well. Joe Gomez did okay. He had a couple of stinkers where we played out of position, so I'm willing to forget those. £68 million. I haven't really gone over the values of these, by the way. The biggest one, I think, was the Elliot Wahi. In fact, no, it wasn't. We'll go back to that. But one of the biggest was Elliot Wahi. Archie Gray was 44. Jack Grealish, only 46, so Villa made a profit on him. A few 20s, and Joe Gomez was £68 million. I think he will be better this coming season. I think he's established himself in the team now. Remember, he came in January, so I think he did well. What do we do about Mark Wahi? Because what a shocker he had. I mean, he started off, we gave him time, and he had 1 or 2 good games here or there. To be honest, I'm surprised he's on the 6.86. I thought he would be lower than that. Really had a few stinkers for us. Got sent off towards the end of the season, which all could have cost us the league had we not had that great performance against Liverpool. So it is what it is, but we have to think about what we do with him. I don't think we sell him, but if an offer comes in for him, I don't think I'll turn it down. Juan Miranda was a more than capable left-back replacement. I don't know whether we possibly keep him, get rid of Digne and bring in another top-tier left-back. That might be on the cards. But Miranda, towards the end of the season as well, mainly out of necessity because of the injury to Digne, he ended up becoming a really good player for us, a bit of an assist machine. Ansu Fati, I mean, we barely used him. It is what it is. Same with Luca Perrin. Perrin, whoever he is, he wasn't very good. He made 1 sub appearance for us. It was what it was. Leandro Trossard was I mean, would have been really good for us, I think, but then he got an injury that took him out for the rest of the season after 2 appearances. And then Maitland-Niles was brought in to be cover if we needed him. Barely used him. We actually used other players out of position rather than use him. That says a lot about his current ability. I'm not going to go too much into the transfers out, but Emi Buendia left for 58, Ezri Konsa left for 68, both of them going to Saudi Arabia. Coutinho left for CSKA Moscow. Diego Dalot, who we brought in last season, left for 49.5 million. Tyrone Mings left for 23. Courtney Hawes left for 6.5. Robin Olsen left for 1.5. Moreno and Carlos both left for Newcastle, 31 and 36 million pounds respectively. Bertrand Traore, I think was he already leaving? Yeah, we sent him out on loan last season and he was already leaving as a result. And Louis Barry went to Leeds. I mean, we started the season with these two as regular starters, Dalot as well, Mings as well, but we realised we could do better. We moved all of them on, and I think we definitely upgraded the squad. In terms of the results of the season, we'll start with the Premier League. We went and won it. We went and won it by 4 points in the end. It was a bigger points gap than that, but we started to wobble towards the end of the season, but we held our nerve. What a run we had this season. But you can see that a late season kind of wobble here really didn't help matters, but we managed to get through. Of course, the West Ham United game, we didn't care at that point. We'd already won things. Jacob Ramsey and Elia Wahi both getting 15 goals between them. The goals were evenly spread out beyond that. Maxed out our attendance. And, I mean, we only really wanted to get into the top half. Well, we did that. Champions League, inexplicably, we won it. We got battered by Bayern Munich, so it would have been interesting to play them again. But it's the only time we didn't win a game. We won every single one, quite a few of them, by heavy scorelines. So, lovely stuff. And that final, my word, what a match that was. Again, maxed out of attendance. And again, Elia Wahi, 14 goals, was the top scorer for us in the competition. FA Cup, we went and won it. We had to do a replay against Nottingham Forest, and yet we somehow managed to win. And we beat United, Chelsea and Liverpool on the way to that. Dramatic scenes in the Chelsea game. Goodness me. And then we managed to beat Liverpool in the final. Something about us playing Liverpool in finals. And the Carabao Cup, we got to the final and Brentford beat us. That one is still a sore point. I won't lie to you. It is what it is. Nah, it's fine. I can live with it. We were meant to be competitive and we certainly were that by getting to the final. So I will definitely take that. Moments to remember. Apologies, another bit of a cough. Moments to remember. I mean, the battering of Real Madrid has to be up there. It's utter nonsense that happened. Like, I still don't understand it to this day, how we did that. Elia Wahi really starting to turn up at that point. 4 goals on the night. It wasn't completely the finished article at this point. Later on in the season he got going, but fantastic. Match to remember. How it's not this, I don't know. But apparently beating Villarreal away from home, with Buendia and Ramsey getting on the score sheet, was definitely up there. And then will this work? I don't think it will. Gray in the game against Anderlecht. All of this is Champions League. In the 20th minute, Gray's goal. Let me see if I can find that and get us up to that one. So the reason why we can't see that goal is actually because it's too far away. If I go into the fixtures list, it won't let me access this game anymore. But it was, I remember, a lovely volley. I mean, he scored a few like that this season, Gray. Archie's been superb. It's just been an absolute menace from outside the box. So we've seen a few like that. It was one of those, and it was absolutely spectacular. Money-wise, we've spent a bit, but it's been worth it to win the competitions that we've won, and also we've got ourselves to a worldwide reputation. Sponsorships up by just over 10 million. Broadcast revenue is basically the same. It's down a little bit, but not by much. Corporate and hospitality is up by a touch. Competition prize money is up by like 80 million, which is ridiculous. And matchday commercial and retail is a little bit down, but honestly, it's not too bad. Shirt sales have done really well. Grealish is the top shirt seller, and then we've got Gray, Ramsey, Wahi and Tielemans all in there. Nice to see. In terms of the team of the season that we've used, Martinez was the goalkeeper, Cash and Digne were the fullbacks, and it was Pau Torres and Yacabiol in defence. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. I mean, Yacabiol's probably a bit of a surprise there, but Gueye underperformed and Gomez only had half a season, so I'd go with that. Kamara and Gray in the midfield, I mean, are the wrong way round, but yeah, I'd absolutely agree with that. And then the front three, I'm a bit disputing on this purely for Lamar, but Lamar did start the season like he played last season, and my light has just gone off. Bear with me 1 second. We're going to rock without the light. We're just going to go without it. Yeah, Lamar did have a really good start to the season. Like, most of his goals and assists were in that period. He dropped off a cliff, though, around the halfway point, which is a large part of the reason why Jack Grealish came in. And Grealish, I thought, ended the season better than Lamar started it. But I might be being a bit biased there, but I'm a little bit surprised at that. But I can also understand it. Diaby, the way he ended the season, absolutely deserved to be on there. So, I've not got too many arguments with that 11, to be honest with you. And wing play, I don't intend to play with a wing play system, but it just defaults to that. And we do tend to see us use the wings quite often. So, you know, it is what it is. Right. Awards. There's just a few. I won a few Manager of the Month awards. August, October, November, January, February. And the Manager of the Year. Nice. But on to the more... By the way, I've got 23 caps and 10 goals for England. Just in case anyone cared. Over on Player Awards, the Club Awards, Fans Player of the Season, Archie Gray. Have to agree with that. Young Player of the Season, Archie Gray as well. Signing of the Season, Archie Gray. Goal of the Season, Archie Gray. It's Archie Gray's world. We're just fortunate enough to live in it. Top goal scorer was Elia Wahi with 36. Diaby had 17 assists in the end. Ended up getting the award for that. Most player of the matches was Elia Wahi, as well as the highest average rating, which was actually equal to Archie Gray. Most passes completed per 90 minutes, if I can get my teeth in, were from Pau Torres with 61. Competition awards, we've got 3. UEFA Champions League Defender of the Season was Pau Torres. English Players Young Player of the Year was Archie Gray. Excellent. And then Elia Wahi was the Young Player of the Season in the Champions League as well, which was lovely. Record breakers. Apparently Jacob Ramsey getting a hat-trick gets him that. It counted from the start of the save. It annoys me a little bit, but it is what it is. Same with Player of the Match awards, 9 for Wahi. Worst disciplined, 13 yellows and a red for Matty Cash was awful. Youngest player was one of our youngsters who's got a lot of potential, Basiru Kante, who's 15 years, 339 days old. And youngest goal scorer was Richard George, who is again another one of our talented youngsters, at 16 years and 116 days old. Won lots of things, had nice things said about us, which is always nice. I'm not going to dwell on the manager timeline because there's almost no point looking at it for a save like this. But that is the season review. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. I mean, now it comes to trying to work out what to do for next season. Now, what's hilarious is that Jacob Ramsey is being linked with a move to Sheffield United when he's worth £108 million. Something tells me he's not going to be going to Sheffield United. I've got no intention of letting him go to Sheffield United. Now, we have agreed a price with him if a club wants to come in for him because Man City sniffed around him in January. I'm reluctant to let Jacob Ramsey go. I'm hoping our upward shift in stature will help want him to stay, but we'll see what happens. I just want him to play for England while we've got this save going. I really do, because he has been superb for us this season. I mean, he was good for us last season as well, but this season he has stepped up even more, so I very much do want to keep a hold of him this year. But we do need to have a look at the squad, and we do need to work out exactly what we want to do with it. So I'm going to have a quick look and see where I think we need to strengthen things for the forthcoming season. Okay, looking at the squad as an absolute minimum, we need a new, probably a right side is probably the way to look at it. Someone else who can play there instead of Diaby, because Diaby and Lamar can both play there, but I think another person who can be one of those attacking wingers, I think could be a good option. And then we've already discovered definitely one right back. Left back, I am considering maybe we move Digne on. Digne is 31 now. Not that that's very old, but I mean, we could probably look to get someone else. I mean, he has been declining as a footballer. Like, some of his abilities are going away. So if we can replace him, brilliant. If we can't, I'm not going to be too upset about it for one more season, but in my head, I am thinking, actually, we move him on. So there's 3 players we need to bring in there. Midfield, I think that's fine. Unless someone comes in and forces our hand with Boubacar Kamara. I mean, Archie Gray is going nowhere. I just want to make that absolutely clear right now. But if someone comes in for Boubacar Kamara, I would consider it. But it would have to be the right deal. So that's probably it, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe an attacking midfielder to cover for Jacob. But I'm still determined that Douglas Luiz is going to be that person. I think he'll do a great job there. And I think as well, having someone up here who's got this level of defensive ability, I think will be really, really helpful. I just think he's going to be a stunning player to have who can get further forward. So we just need to keep training him, I think. And I think we'll get him there. But I mean, the problem is he's 27 years old. It's going to be harder for him to learn that position. But I still think he can. We just need to commit to him playing there in pre-season. That's what it needs to be. So I am actually going to put a question mark on Douglas Luiz as the attacking midfielder. So let's say we want to bring someone else in for him. And then that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, goalkeeper, I do want to replace Carnesecchi. However, if we can't replace him, it's not the end of the world. He'll do. But then, I mean, he's a decent championship player. I mean, let's let's renege on that. Let's have a look for a new backup goalkeeper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 players we're looking to bring in. There's one other one I am considering though, and that is trying to move on Yuri Tielemans. Ghost open the door again. It's moving on Yuri Tielemans and bringing someone in for him, so that would bring it up to 6. So actually there's a bit more work than we need to do. But we don't need to do all of this work. I mean, again, that's considering Tielemans goes, it's considering Karnasechi goes, it's considering we get rid of Singo, and we bring in players to replace them, and then it's just extra players on top of that. So we'll see what we can do. I mean, we've got about £60 million to spend at the moment. I mean, if we can sell Yuri Tielemans for a decent amount, I mean, at the moment, I've got his value set at £50 million. I don't know whether that's necessarily realistic, but we've put him up for that, and there is a club interested in him. Let's say we get £30 million in. That puts us up to around £90 million on the transfer list. If we can get rid of Signo for 2025, that puts us over £100 million. Karnasechi would fetch 5 if we're lucky. And then, you know, if we try and sell, where is he? Digne as well. What's Digne worth? Digne's worth 24 to 26. So that would be, I don't know, 120, 130 million pounds maybe if we're lucky. Let's see what we can do with that, and hopefully we can make some money. There is also the small fact as well of, where is he? Not you. Luka Sukic, who looked a lot better when we signed him. He's not very good now, but if we can get anywhere near that value for him when we bought him in for 10 million, I think that would be a good deal to make. And we try and recoup some of that money and then some, and put some profit back into the first team. And that's something that the board wants us to do, is sign young players to sell, well, sign players to sell for a profit. So let's see whether we can do that. That's the battle plan. Let's go through, and I'm going to see if I can make some signings, and if I can make them, I'll show you them on the 1st of July, and hopefully I'll have a lovely new squad to show you at that point. Well, our plans are going to be slightly different, because as you can probably see in front of you, we've got to put up with this nonsense again. For anyone who doesn't know, I've played in the Club World Cup a couple of times, and the last time I played in it, to be fair, it wasn't too bad. But the time before, it was not good. There's a short on the channel devoted to it. I highly recommend you go and watch it, because my word, but that is going to affect what we do. I'll bring you updates as they come, but literally the last thing I really wanted to deal with. Okay, maybe not the most exciting signing in the world, but Ben White is in. He is going to be our new right back, and also cover very adequately at centre-back as well. He was natural centre-back when he first broke into, was it Leeds that he first properly showed up, and then he went to, I think he was on loan from Brighton, and then he came through Brighton, and then Arsenal signed him. I mean, I could just look down at where he's played, and that's exactly the career progression he had from the point... basically, yes. That's exactly what he did. And we've brought him in. And he's going to be a decent fullback for us. He's not a world superstar, but he is an England international. He's better than Matty Gash. He's better than any of the other options that we've got. I'm quite content with bringing him in. But at the moment, that is the only transfer that we've brought in. We are struggling to move a few players on, and we are struggling to kind of find the players to target. At the moment, we are in a position where we do need to move players on in order to bring anyone else in. Now, what I will say, Douglas Luiz, I've decided that the attacking midfielder experiment is gone. He's going to be our backup deep line playmaker, because in the nicest possible way, it'll get him more game time and it'll give Gray a bit of a break in the team. And now again, we do need to move on Yuri Tielemans. There are a few offers in for him at the moment. I don't really know what to do with these offers, because in the nicest possible way, it's not a lot of money. Now, I have tried to negotiate one of the offers. Well, I thought I had done. Let me push this up. I want to try and get around 40 million for him. At the end of the day, Villa, to the best of my knowledge, brought Yuri in on a free. So any amount would be good. I'd like to get more than the 32 that Leicester paid for him in real life. And that should be enough to bring in someone in another position. Because, again, we've kind of decided that we're good in terms of the position that Yuri currently plays in. We are having offers in for Luca Digne, but then just not high enough. I want to get at least 20 million for him. And we had an offer in for Juan Miranda, which overall wasn't bad, but I'm not interested in letting him go. Now, here's an interesting one. Ollie Watkins. I mean,
if we have a look at Ollie Watkins last season, how did he do? Didn't do too well. However, in 10 starts, he got 5 goals and 2 assists in the league. I mean, when you look at it on that level, he was a very adequate backup striker. But really, he needs to be playing first team football. He's 29 years old. Is he someone who we could move on and bring someone else in for? The only issue I've got with the deal is it's only £36 million up front. And I can't counter-offer it, because what I'd like to do is counter-offer it and ask for more up front. However, we've got guaranteed instalments for 16.75 million, which will put it up to 52-ish million. And then we've got the extra if he plays 20 games, which I imagine he would. I'm going to stall it for the moment and have a think about it. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Now, we have counter-offered here for Luka Digne, so we'll see what happens with that. In terms of the Club World Cup, nothing's come up. So, I was assuming it was going to be happening this season. I might have got that wrong. Let me just double check. When's it meant to be happening? I mean, it's already happening now. So we must have qualified for the next Club World Cup, because we've not been involved in this tournament at all. As you can see, it's already most of the way through. That makes me happy. I'm quite content with not being anywhere near it, if I'm honest. I'm not feeling that at all. But yeah, so we've still got some work to do to get the club ready, completely ready. But I think Ben White's going to be a really, really good right back for us. And I think if we can move on the players that we want to move on, I think we're going to have a really, really good squad for next season. Again, this isn't about overhauling the squad. It's about just fine-tuning and improving. Now, if I can get a proper starting left-back, or at least someone who's as good as what we already have, but younger, I'll be really happy. A decent attacking midfielder who can come in and cover that position when our boy Jacob Ramsey is not available or needs a rest. Also very happy. And again, that right winger. But again, to get all of that stuff, what do we need to do? Well, we need to move bodies on. That's the biggest thing. We need to move on Digne. We need to move on Tielemans. We need to move on Signo. And then we can consider the players coming in. Got a bit to do. Got a bit to do. And also, we don't know. Is someone going to come in and make an offer for Kamara? Is Chelsea going to come in for him? Is AC Milan going to come in for Elia Wahi? Are we going to get more offers for Miranda? Are we going to get offers for Diaby? Are we going to get offers for Aya? I mean, if we get the offers in, we'll consider them. I'm not going to say any of these players are guaranteed to stay, but boy, do we need money to consider selling them. That's the one thing I will say on it. Okay, we got a big decision on our hands. I accepted an offer for Mr. Diaby just to see... Well, I counter-offered it, and then I accepted it just to see whether he would accept the deal, and then to kind of think, well, what will we do if that ends up happening? And, well, he's agreed a contract, so... I suppose the question is, do we accept that and do we look to bring in another top quality right winger? I mean, it's £63 million up front. So the question then becomes, well, who can we bring in to replace him? I mean, looking at players we've scouted, there's plenty on here. It's just whether we can afford them. I mean, again, let's call it 60 million. Let's just round it down a little bit to 60 million. I've just thought this has still got right back on, hasn't it? We don't want right back on there at the moment. We've sold right back. So we're looking around 60 million. Ideally, I don't want to have to pay more than that. I don't want to have to put any fees on there. So let's just look for someone who we could just buy outright. Starting to regret selling Buendia at this point. It's a bit of a difficult one. I've got to be honest with you. It is a bit of a difficult one, but there are plenty of players here who are good quality. It's just finding the right one who will fit the team. I mean, I did at one point this season look at Jared Bowen, and Arsenal were looking at him as well. And it becomes very obvious to me that Arsenal ended up not getting him either. We went out of it because, to me, that's a lot of money for Jared Bowen. He's a very, very good player, don't get me wrong. But he hasn't had a couple of very good seasons. I mean, I've used him before in FM, not this FM. I used him FM22, I think it was, and he was sensational. But, I mean, I don't know whether it's going to... Because this is going to be the starting right midfielder. Like, it's a difficult one because if we can bring someone in, save a bit of money, we can put that towards, like, other positions maybe. So, but then we still need to bring in another right winger. Maybe. There's a maybe on that which I'll show you in a moment. And then we still need to bring in an attacking midfielder and a left back. Left back, I think I might have sorted. Haven't made an offer for anyone yet, but I think I've got it sorted. Now I'm just looking at this guy, Nicolas Gonzalez or Nico at Fiorentina. Coming as the third best winger at the club, about the same as Moussa Diaby. He's had 2 very good seasons at Fiorentina. 32 caps for Argentina. He's relatively quick. Off the ball's good. His work rate's good. Really good on the ball. Good passing. Long shots aren't bad. When we get the ball to him, he'll run. He feels like he could be a good shout, you know. 27 years old. I mean, if we compare him to Diaby, I mean, looking at that right there, Diaby's quicker, and that's the only thing he's better than him at. Like, better at corners, better at marking, better at positioning. Physically, he's a bit better, but again, like the thing with Nicolas Gonzalez is, for some reason, he's got this incredible aerial ability. The only thing Diaby can do is play as an attacking midfielder, but we did train that into him. I don't know, because if we can get him somewhere in the middle of that range, I'd be up for it. Should we make an offer? Let's make an offer for him. I mean, 48 million. Let's make an offer of 50. Let's see what they come back with. Okay, well, then they're not getting that. That's ridiculous. They're not getting that at all. Going with 55. Let's see what they say. They want 71 outright. Let me go up to kind of my top end, and what should be the top end there, 60. I will also put in a profit from next sale. It's getting a little bit annoying. Let me try and be a bit cheeky. Let's do that. Save a couple of million, hopefully. And then, if not him, then who? I mean, my eyes are kind of drawn to Diogo Jota, who would be a great cover for 3 positions. Let's compare him with our main man as well. I mean, again, better everywhere apart from speed. So, let's ask the agent this time. Consider joining us. Liverpool apparently want a lot of money. He wants a lot of money. He wants to be a starter. I mean, whoever this is would start for us. That's the thing. 99 million, I mean, that wasn't the amount that was quoted down here. That, all of a sudden, his value was shot up, which is obscene. Antoine Griezmann, could you imagine? Antoine Griezmann. I don't know why I'm looking at this end, because we're not going to get anyone who's this good. Oh, this is a tricky one. This is a really, really tricky one. I'm not going to go for Pedro Neto. Not a chance. I mean, Izab Day has come up a couple of times. I don't know. He's not going to be... I mean, I want someone, if they're going to come in, they need to be better or as good as Diaby. So, if it's going to be someone who's going to be like a step down, I'm not so sure. I think Nico Gonzalez is going to be the one if we can get the offer in for him. If we can get that accepted. I think that's going to be the one. But we'll have to wait and see. In terms of transfers, we have actually made another one as well. And that is... Let me just double check I haven't made any more that I've forgotten about. No, I haven't. Fabio Vieira. It's coming on loan for Arsenal as midfield cover. So, I mean, if you want to be technical about it, he can be the cover right winger. And we've also still got John McGinn as well. So, really, we only need to replace Diaby. We've probably got that midfield spot completely sorted. So, what that will leave us with is another left-back we need, as well as an attacking midfielder. And then trying to get Carnesecchi out. And if we can get Carnesecchi out, we'll bring in a goalkeeper at that point. But I think that's going to be it. I mean, in terms of transfers this is the one that I'm looking at, which is Victor Christiansen. I've used this guy before on FM, and he's scouted reasonably well. I mean, 3-star will do for me. I think he'd be very decent. Good in the attack. Defensive, he's not too bad. His positioning is good. He's quick. I don't like the fact that he dives into tackles, but we can try and work on that with him. He's only 22. If we can get him in, I'll be really, really happy. It's a big if, though. But that leaves us to what we do with this. I mean, we can delay... Do you know what? I'm going to delay it. If we can find someone who we actually want for Moussa Diaby, I'm willing to part with him. I mean, Nico Gonzalez, I think, is the one. I think he's the one. The next one would be Diogo Jota, but we're going to be priced out of that as a transfer, I think. I'm pretty sure we are going to be priced out of that as a transfer. Well, this is turning out to be a bit of a more stressful transfer window than what I thought it was going to be. But that was an offer I wasn't expecting. And again, we'll get a bit of extra money. Right, so another player I was looking at was Giacomo Raspadori. And I mean, it was more of him as a backup striker and a backup winger, so it's probably not going to be him. Christiansen bid's been rejected, nothing mentioned whatsoever. I mean, the issue is he's got a release clause of £36.5 million. I might just pop it in. And let's just see if we can negotiate the contract. I mean, okay, let's see. Because he probably would be a starter for us. Okay, we've had an offer that's been kind of preemptively accepted. Let's see whether it actually gets accepted. I think it'd be a good one. I was looking at Luca Net, so I'm kind of glad I didn't look at him. We did have an offer for Tielemans accepted. The problem is he then turned the contract down, which is really frustrating. I really desperately want to move Tielemans on because we've already covered his position, so he'll give us extra money to use elsewhere. So at the moment, we're kind of playing behind. I mean, I'd like this much money for him, but again, let's bear in mind, Villa got him on a free. Anything we get for him is pure profit. So I'm quite content whether we just get any money in. Yeah, we won a friendly. Happy days. Right, Gonzalez still negotiate. Look at how much extra money that they want. And this valuation is nowhere near really, is it? I'm getting rid of them. Okay, I'll bump it up to 60. Let me whack this up to there. And we'll just throw an offer in and we'll just see what they say. Maybe they'll go for that. Maybe they'll go for that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they won't. But we'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. Right. Sociedad want him. Sociedad can have him. And I'll do whatever I can to make him as miserable as possible that he wants to leave the club for anyone. Because that might be the only thing that we can do to get him to leave. Diogo Jota, I mean, the valuation, that's really floored me, that has. Because I would have gone for him. He would have been great. Oh, goodness me. I've just left this recording, by the way. I mean, just in case anything does happen. Of course, we are ticking down the time we've got on the Moussa Diaby deal because we have only paused it. It will come back round, and at some point we will have to accept it or reject it. Or we'll try and delay it, and we'll end up getting a little bit stuffed up by it. But, right, Sociedad have made an offer for Tielemans. Gonzalez deal has been negotiated again. I mean, we're at the top end of his valuation here, lads. I mean, it's not like you're playing in Spain where there's a release clause that you can point to. I don't know why you're being so belligerent about this. I don't really want to add another fee on. And I can't afford to go any higher than that because we're only getting 63 million from the Diaby deal. I mean, to be fair, Diaby's bringing in an extra 20-ish million from a transfer fee. So let's pop in 7.5. And we'll go to 40. Okay, fine. Absolutely fine. Right, Gray can play there perfectly. I mean, we need to have a word with him about his development because that is not good. That is not good at all. Right, Tielemans, £40 million. Let's try and make him as miserable as possible on this. Right, okay, I think we might have convinced him. Right, we're just going to accept that. £40 million would be great. And again, we've already covered his position. And now we've got the offer for Nicolas Gonzalez coming through. If he accepts this offer, we will accept the Diaby deal. Okay, he's happy to be regular starter. Bit more than I want to pay him. Let's try and pop these down a little bit. I'll pop the agent fee up a little bit. Let me try and pop these down. Go with that. Okay, fine. How about an assist bonus? Now about a team of the year bonus. And do you know what? Just because it's incredibly unlikely that you're going to hit it, let's put a top goal scorer bonus in as well. Let's just see. Oh my word. Wow. Okay, he's not messing about. Fine. Right, that can come down then. Your appearance fee can come down. But I'll put your agent fee up to try and sweeten it a bit. Okay. Nicolas Gonzalez is going to be coming in. We'll ask Emmy to have a chat. Oh, okay. Fine. Emmy doesn't want to do us a favour there. That's absolutely fine. Maybe he and Nico don't get on. Right. The thing that I don't really want to do. Moussa Diaby. It's a shame because he didn't start well last season, but he really found his form halfway through. But then does that say something about his inconsistency? Maybe it does. So maybe moving him on is the right thing. So I salute you, Moussa. Thank you for all your efforts. But you are no longer an Aston Villa player. Wow. And we've upset everyone. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Let me say that one. Okay. Once Nico's in, everything should be fine. Lucas Sukic getting involved in there. I love that, by the way. Youngster who hasn't played for us who we're trying to get rid of. And he's in there giving it large. That's hilarious. I mean, I am disappointed that we haven't got Moussa Diaby anymore, but that's a lot of money to not be able to turn down. It genuinely is. It's been able to let us bring in another quality player on that side who's better than him. I don't know about you guys, I think that was the right decision. He's 1 year older, but he's better. I feel like that was the right decision. We've ended up paying less for his replacements overall. That's got to be the right decision, surely. Surely it has. Right, well, that is going to be sorted when he eventually has the transfer come round. When we have the transfer come round to accept it and bring him in. And then if we can get Tielemans off to Sociedad, we've got another 40 million or whatever it will be. Let's call it 35 million. To add to the pot for... I mean, some of it will go to the left back we're trying to bring in. And the rest of it can go to an attacking midfielder. This might just be coming together just perfectly. Oh, I'm getting cross with him now. It's the second time he's done that. Right. Desperate times. Move to the under-18 squad. I'll shout to him about his conduct if it'll let me. I'll shout to him about his training. I don't care if you don't think it's fair. I'm just going to try and make him as miserable as possible. Well, I ended up making him happier. Well, that didn't work. So I did it right. Even more drastic times. Number one, we'll pop him on the transfer list because he is wanted. And then I'm even gonna... Don't really want to do this. We'll hire an intermediary. There's no interest in him. What is this? He's just being annoying for the sake of being annoying at this point. That really affects us because we're not going to have enough money to complete the 2 transfers we've currently got on the go. We're not going to have enough money to complete both of them. I don't think. So we're going to have to delay them, basically. Which is a bit of a problem. Oh, my God. If he'd have accepted that offer, we'd be flying. It'd be great. It'd be absolutely great. Right, who's got an offer? No. No, I'm not interested. Right, let's just have an overview. Right, so money in. Potential cost wages 275. I can just about cover that. What I can't cover is the actual transfer cost. That's the issue. And we've got no one currently on the out because he's rejected that. And no one is interested in Singo. I mean, he's now wanted, actually. So let's try Singo again. He's wanted for loan. I mean, let's pop him up for 20 million. 22? Let's go 22.5. And let's just see if anyone wants to come in for him. I mean, I'll consider making a little bit of a loss on him. I will consider it. Right, one club's interested in this guy on a loan. Lower his value a little bit. We'll see if anyone wants him. John Duran as well. I want to get rid of him. I mean, we're going to get to the point where he is not going to turn a profit for the club, but I don't really care. I'd rather just get rid of him. Oh, that really... Tielemans not accepting that deal has put a huge, huge spanner in the works. It really has. Because we needed him to go in order to bring those players in, and we've got nowhere else to get that money from at the moment. So we're going to have to delay, both transfers. Well, not even necessarily both transfers. Right, loan offer. No. Right, Wilfried. Let's... Unavailable for loan. Because I'm not getting this at the moment, guys. This is so frustrating. Right, Galatasaray for Tielemans. Oh my god, that wage is so annoying. It's not far off what we want for him. And he wants to go there because of course he does. He actually wants to go here. But we'd have to pay £37,500 a week for him. And we'd only get 31.5 million. But then 31.5 million gives us enough money to complete both transfers that we're currently looking to make. Because we need another 5 million. And we've still got, let's call it 20 million left over to go and sign a decent cover attacking midfielder. And then whatever changes left, we can look at kind of bringing in any spare bodies for the squad. I might just have to accept that. Because he wants to go. I mean, I am going to pop another transfer offer on here. Just see if anyone is lingering around him. That might have saved it, potentially. We just need to be able to delay one of those transfers. We can make one of them, no problem at all. We can make one of them with absolutely no issue, but I'm just concerned of the time frame. And I want to get them in as soon as possible, because we're running out of friendlies. I mean, and these guys want to loan him. They're not loaning him. I want to sell him, if it's quite okay. Newcastle signed Joe Cancelo. Joe Cancelo was a couple of years younger. I was considering him, but it's not going to happen. Right. Well, I'm going to go away. Hopefully, third time's a charm for Tielemans. And then hopefully we can bring in an attacking midfielder with whatever is left over. Because once that transfer's done, I think we're good. Maybe goalkeeper, but at that point, I think we're good. Maybe we just look again, like I said, for a cover player who can play in all the defensive positions, one that can play in all the attacking positions. Midfield, we're fine. Yeah, I think we're going to be good. I think that saved things a little bit if he accepts their contract. And if he doesn't, words don't exist. And, of course, both offers come in alongside each other. Because, of course, they do. Because why wouldn't they have? Okay. Well, what do we need more? Right now, what do we need more? I would argue we need a left back more. So I'm going to accept Christiansen. And I'm going to ask for a delay for Nicolas Gonzalez. And I'm hoping, very much hoping, nothing's come up saying we can't have the delay, which is good. So, Christiansen is in. He's not necessarily a world beater, but he is a very good left back. So I'm hopeful he will put in some good performances. Right, Kante can come out. Christiansen can come back in. Christiansen can start this friendly. And yeah, just need that position and that position filled as starter and backup. We've got Vieira. We've got John McGinn. They can fill in those positions there as well. Sukic is currently here. We're trying our best to get rid of him. Okay, I'm feeling a bit more confident now. I am feeling a bit more confident now with the squad. We just need to get Tielemans out the door. Who he's not here. I'm looking for him. He's in the under 18s. We just need to get Tielemans out the door. And at that point, I will feel a lot better. A lot better. Oh, praise be to whoever's up there. Yuri Tielemans is leaving. Okay, we're paying some of his wages. Okay, we haven't got as much money as we wanted to. At one point, we were going to get an offer for 40 million for him. But he's gone. Thank Christ for that. Which does mean now that we can complete the transfer that we wanted to do, which is Nicolas Gonzalez. We can ask for confirmation and we can bring him in. And we still have a little bit of change left. I think that's going to be 24-ish million. There we go. Boom. Sorted. Gonzalez is in. He's a 4-star player. Like, I don't think Diaby was coming up as that. Maximum was 3.5 stars. So, straight away, I'm really, really happy with that as a deal. I think his stronger foot is his left foot, actually. So, maybe we're We'll try and do him as an inverted winger on attack. We'll see whether he'll be happy with that. I'm sure he will. We're asking Lamar to welcome him, even though he's going to be taking Lamar's place. Lamar just doesn't know it yet. Right, well, I feel much better now. Much, much better. Because we now have, relatively speaking, a full squad. Other than one position, that's the only thing is attacking midfields. But, having said that, we still have Luka Sukic. I'd prefer not to use Luka Sukic, but we still have him. And we do have Kellyman as well, youngster, who could play there if we needed him to. And we do also have George as well, the young kid. Again, rather would not have to rely on him. But if we had to rely on him, we could rely on him. It's just worth considering. We'll start Vieira in the next... I mean, these don't really matter, but I'm just setting them up anyway, just because. So, yeah, it's one of those. I think squad's in better shape than I thought it would be. All things considered. I mean, we're going to start you, obviously. Yeah, it could be a lot worse. It really could be a lot worse. Man, that felt a bit stressful, I'm not going to lie. That genuinely did feel a little bit stressful. Let me pop you there, move you around, get that all set up. Grealish is going to go there. And again, Sukic is going to start this. Now, is Sukic going to start? Let's start Sukic, actually, yeah. Because people will then hopefully go in for him. Again, we just want to sell him for more than what he cost us. And then I'll be happy. Request someone to inbox. Right, so again, what we now need to do is try and get in an attacking midfielder. You're not good enough. Sorry, Matthias, I've used you before. Right. Let's have a quick look. I'd consider a loan-in player if we had to. We don't have an awful lot of money. Let's call it 20 million and £120,000 a week. We don't have an awful lot of money to do this. But is there anyone out? I mean, as daft as it sounds, we could actually go for Leandro Trossard again. We didn't get the best out of Trossard last season because of his injury, but he can play there reasonably well. Can also cover the left-hand side. He'd be a really good player to bring in. The question is, can we loan him in like we did last season? Ah, no, we can't do it. I've just thought we can't do it, can we? Because we signed Fabio Vieira, so we can't bring Trossard in on loan. Oh, it's so annoying. If I had thought about Trossard, then I wouldn't have bothered with Fabio Vieira. Just, I imagine Trossard is better. Oh, that's so annoying. That is so annoying. Right, well, we've got to work with what we've got on here. And, I mean, there isn't an awful lot, if we're being honest. Again, if a decent loan player comes up, I will consider them. But a decent loan player has got to come up. That's that's the issue. Guess worth pointing out, I'm not actually looking for someone to come in over the top of Jacob Ramsey. Far from it. What I want is someone who can come in and do a job and cover Jacob when needed, basically. And I need someone minimum 2.5 star, minimum. But again, we're kind of undone by the money that we've got to work with. A little bit, which is annoying because if all of the players we wanted to sell actually were willing to go, Wilfried Singo, for example, then I'm just going to put him up again just because no one's currently interested in him. I'm just going to put him up for 18 and let's see how lucky we get. Maybe someone will bite, maybe they won't, who knows. Oh, by the way, Elliot, he's picked up a knock because of course he has. And then Lukas Sukic, I mean, he's still wanted by that club who wants him for loan. He's not going anywhere for loan. Simple as that. We signed him for like 10 million, so let's pop him up for 22.5. Let's just see if anyone bites on that. And that's all we can really do, and hope that those players sell. Because if they do, then we can bring someone in there, and then we can look at the rest of the squad, and hopefully bring some loans in. But the core of the squad is pretty much done, and I'm pretty much happy with it. More or less, it's just about now bringing in those 1 or 2 players who will just fill the gaps.
Like someone else who can be a cover defender, someone else who can be a cover striker, winger maybe, and someone else who can do the defensive work. But then again, John McGinn can probably do that, so we probably don't need that. Probably defensive cover, striker, winger cover. That's probably it, as well as the attacking midfielder. I mean, I'd be willing to sell one of these guys, like Singo and Sukic, and I'd sign Leandro Trossard. I know he's 30 odd years old, but I'd bring him in just as a player to act as cover. Who knows what's going to happen? We are literally days away from the Community Shield, and we have had an offer in for Boubacar Kamara. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one at all. The value of it is 60 million, potentially up to 66 million. Apologies, I had a cough then. I mean, it's difficult because it's a lot of money. We'd get, what, 40 million, I don't know, something like that. 40 million, 39 million, I think we'd end up getting to replace him. I mean, we could do that, but I'd rather 66 million up front. And I'm really hoping he's not going to go upset because I'm going to reject it. It doesn't look like he's got upset because it would have come back straight away and of course the game's saving. If it was like 60 million up front, I would have absolutely considered it. I genuinely would have done, but to be honest with you, I need something more substantial to bring in someone who's going to be a better player. By the way, Premier League top young player, Archie Gray, looking like he's one of the favourites, which is nice to see. A bunch of players here that we don't need to worry about. Now, there's one player who I am scouting as an attacking midfielder. I don't know if he's going to be good enough. I've actually put an offer in for him, but I'm scouting him in the hope that we get the scout report back before we actually have to make the decision. Okay, I just wanted to see whether he was on that list, and he's not. So, I don't know. He's a player who I remember. I mean, I'm kind of going against my usual has to be on the scout report kind of thing, but it's a player I have used before. Wouldn't be a starter. In fact, there he is right there. Ianis Hadji. How good... Oh, he's 2-star. He's a 2-star player, which is very disappointing. I was hoping he'd be 2.5-star. Because I've used him before, and he's been incredible for me. But I don't know whether I can justify spending £20 million on him if he's only 2-star. And at 20, whatever he is, 26 years old, he's not going to improve. So that's a no. We're going to cancel that. Because that would have been all our money. So we need to think of something else. And I don't know what that something else is, to be honest with you. I really, really don't. I'm going to go to Director of Football and see what he says. Right, Director of Football. Suggest. Attacking midfielder. Let's go for transfer and let's see what he comes up with. Okay, right. I mean, I can't afford any of these guys. I don't know if you've noticed. Monchi. Right, what about a loan? Apparently no players exist for a loan. Free transfer? No players exist for a free transfer. What about centre mid? Let's just see what you come up with. Again, can't afford them. I don't want to spend more than the money that we actually have. That's the issue. And again, there's no one for that one. Well, that's a problem.
It's a real problem because we cannot move either of the players on that we want to, which means we're stuck from this list. And I mean, Christian Eriksen, 33-year-old Christian Eriksen. I mean, talk about a short-term solution. Is that even a... Should we do that? I mean... Let me pop an offer in. I'll try and go a bit lower. Absolutely not. No, this is going to be nuts, isn't it? Well, he only wants to be a squad player. He's not going to get his preferred position, but I will give him a squad player. He doesn't want loads of money. I mean, it's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but just try and lowball him a little bit. Try and sweet talk the agent into getting into his ear. I don't mind him getting more money for appearances. I don't mind him getting more money for assists. I mean, this is a player with real international pedigree. So I am content with bringing someone like him in. I'd like to bring that down. And if we can get that, because he's not going to play very often, if I'm being honest, but what a player he could end up being. Okay, well there we go. Rather it be the 1 year deal, but we're not pushing the boat. Christian Eriksen might actually be on his way to Aston Villa. I mean, again, it's a very short-sighted transfer, but we're only doing one more season. Like, he'll have enough to give us a decent season. I'm pretty confident of that. Relatively confident. I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't. I think it's a decent... To me, don't know if anyone agrees with me or not. If you're watching, let me know. Let me know what you think about the Christian Eriksen deal. I think, personally, that's a good bit of business for a cover player who's going to come in, do a job, probably come off the bench. Like, and even then, when he comes onto the pitch, it's not always going to be him. It could be others as well. Oh my word. What is this? Right, let's look at the offer. 35.5 million up front. No. Absolutely not. I'm not even going to counter offer it. I'm not even going to counter offer it. Right, on the go. I'm going to come back before the Man City game, and we'll see whether we can get Christian Eriksen in the club. What a random transfer that's ended up being. So no Christian Eriksen, and I couldn't find anyone to put an offer in for strikers. So this is going to be the squad for the Community Shield. Now I'm going to do the next episode slightly differently. It's going to be a bumper special. It's going to be 3 games. Community Shield, first game of the league season, and the Super Cup, the European UEFA Super Cup. We're going to play that as well as the first game of the season and also this one. So that should be very interesting to see what will happen. And hopefully we'll get Christian Eriksen in and he will hopefully add something to the squad. Hopefully Elie Awahi won't be out for too much longer. He's currently injured. Up to 2 weeks. That's a bit of a bummer, but he'll be back in no time, and surely he will be flying like he was for the majority of last season. But that is going to do it for today's video. Again, just to confirm everything that we've done transfer wise, let's have a quick check. So transfers in, we knew it wasn't going to be many names. We started with Benjamin White for £55 million. My light's just gone off as well. I'm not going to bother doing anything. We then brought in Fabio Vieira on loan. We then brought in Victor Christiansen for £36.5 million. And the big one was Nicolas Gonzalez for £68 million. The outs, I think, are just as interesting, though. Obviously, no big outs that technically were in last season. Digne for 20, Diaby for 80, Feeney we don't care about, and Tielemans out for 31. We've actually made, technically speaking, more money. Now, bearing in mind Benjamin White has not been counted in that, so Benjamin White was counted in that, then we would technically have made a loss this season, but not by much, so it is what it is. But that, I think, with what we wanted to do, has been a successful transfer window. We have built on what we wanted to build on. We've worked out ways to do things that haven't broken the bank. We've been very careful on our transfers, and we've ended up with a squad that has improved. I think wing-wise, we're definitely better than we were last season. Depth-wise, I think Fabio Vieira gives us a bunch of different positions. I think when we get Eriksen in, he will do the same. Christiansen and Ben White, I think, are massive upgrades on what we had in terms of depth of fullbacks. I'm pretty happy with what we've got. Now, if we can just get... Goodness me. These two out of the club, might have a little bit more money to bring in a couple of cover players, but I think for now that will do. So the next time you see us, it will be for the Community Shield against Manchester City. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe. It is completely free to do so, and you'll make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.